back to The Common Theory, the internet's #1 competitive Pauper EDH podcast, but also 60-card Pauper, because that's what we're talking to you today about. We have an esteemed guest with us today.
We haven't had Aaron on in like a while. And he's actually a very special guest today.
Why?
Well, I top forward a 60-card Pauper event in Rochester.
Yes, you did.
Yep, you topped the Upstate New York Pauper Open 2.
Yeah, out in Rochester, New York. It was this past weekend. It might also have been the weekend before this past weekend, depending on when you're listening to this podcast. But it was on the 9th?
Yeah, it was on the 9th. It was Saturday.
Yeah. Yep, Saturday the 9th. Well, before we get into it, we're going to do a little bit of a tournament rundown with Aaron, and I also played in it, so I'll be chatting a little bit. But before we get into it, Aaron, how are you, man? How have you been? It's been a minute since I've seen you very recently, but the people who are listening to this have not. It's been a minute since I last heard from you. So how have you been, man? What's going on?
I've been good. Actually, I've been just digging deep in CPDH, and the 60-card Pauper tournament it came up months ago, and I had already planned to go to it. So I was like, I'm just going to go play 60-card. It was mainly, I just, to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting any kind of really good outcome. I kind of sandbagged getting my plane ticket, which cost me a little bit more. So I ended up having to pay $300 instead of $100.
You sandbagged yourself, dude.
Jesus.
I was like, I got time. And then a couple weeks prior to the tournament, it's I need to buy a plane ticket.
No, yeah.
And then my wife was like, oh, it's $300. I'm like, oh well, send it. And then I was like, I was talking to Chum, and I was like, dude, I don't even care at this point. It's totally worth the experience just to come up there and play, and then hang out with friends, pretty much, because that's what I like to do. I like to travel, I like to eat different states' foods, and then hang out with my friends. And then we get to play Magic on top of it, so it's a win-win.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited for when I go to Atlanta next week.
Well, I do the same thing with y'all. When I come down to visit Miami with Gator and you, I don't really care about the money. It's I get to see my friends and play Magic.
So it's all about the gathering.
Yeah,
all about the gathering.
It always unironically is, which is great.
Yeah. Honestly, though, it literally is about the friends we met along the way. Franklin, how are you, man? What's cooking?
Yeah, pretty good. Just, playing a whole bunch more CPDH now that Love Island's over. My life has finally opened up. I can actually play a lot more.
Because you were a cast member. And...
No, wait. I am actually related to one. So the girl who got kicked out on the second episode.
Wait. You're actually, though. You're actually related.
Like cousins?
No way.
Hold on, but listen to this chain.
All right, yeah.
So my wife, her cousin's daughter's boyfriend's sister was on the show, but she got kicked out for talking like a Miami girl on a podcast.
What does talking like a Miami girl sound like?
Saying the N-word.
Honestly, that's not.
I was not expecting that.
That's not what I expected that to go. Honestly, at all.
If it had been
all, I was like, all right, some Cuban slang, maybe some Spanish slang, some improper words, some 4-letter words, maybe.
No. It's just that.
Spanish, Spanish bad words. I get it.
All right.
I totally I was not expecting. Now, if you were from Alabama, I totally expect that.
Oh no! It was with the A, so technically it's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad.
Expected outcome.
Yeah, again, I don't want to defend all Miami girls and say unfortunately that's just how they used to talk back in the 90s and 2000s. So when it just carries over, it just kind of carries over.
Well, you know what they say about playing stupid games.
Yeah, she won stupid prizes. Oh,
all right, so Love Island's over. You're playing some PDH.
Our servers have been blowing up almost every day. We legitimately have games firing off every single day now. It's amazing.
Yeah. And
hell yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Cobra and Suki are leading the charge in that. because they are constantly playing. We got some new members that are wanting to learn the format. We talked to one this morning. I don't know where he's from. I know he's got an accent.
He said somewhere in Europe. I don't know where, but
Okay.
this is somewhere in Europe.
So another
Hold on.
European,
Cool.
and he wants to learn the format. He's already picked a commander. We tried helping him with the commander, and it's the colors I don't play. So I have no.
Blue decks. Blue decks.
It had blue in it.
Sick.
Yeah, the guy wanted to pick up Emperor of Palamecia, and like the question he asked is like, do you guys think foil is a good card in here? And my argument was like, it costs 4 mana, so both modes are active.
Yeah. It is a good card in there. Sure. Why not?
Yeah. Again, it cares about 4 cost stuff, so it can flip.
Yeah.
If you need it for free, it's free.
Look, I fully support Cobra taking all your marbles and pogs with breaches.
I'm not gonna lie. He's been on a tear with. To be honest, he's been on a tear with any deck that he plays. He started with Larry. He's moved to Arabella. He's playing our new Arabella list. He's playing Lotad's new Larry list.
Cool.
He's playing your Breaches list.
Yep.
He's playing Layweaver.
Sick.
And Suki's
playing
been
Malcolm
playing.
Caddis.
Yeah,
Seems like he's playing a lot of good decks. All the best decks.
Yeah.
Suki's been playing Malcolm Caddis, but at half capacity because he doesn't understand that there's more win cons than
I heard
the
about
Reckless
this.
Fireweaver.
And still winning.
And still winning, yes.
Brutal.
Again, good decks are just good.
Soon to be winning twice as much as they figure out how to
if
store them
you
off.
look at it statistically, it's like, bro, you're only using like half the power of that deck, and he's like, yeah, and I'm still winning with it. Yeah, yesterday he won with 1 life with the same combo.
Nice.
Yeah, so life has been great.
All right, well, yeah, it looks like I clearly need to jump back into some PDH. So, yeah, I mean, I've been grinding so much 60 card, a lot of it in prep for this tournament, and
Me too.
now it's over, and so yeah, right. Well, we're gonna talk about that. I need to get back to some PDH. I also need to update both Gut and Dargo with some of the new cards. So
Yeah,
so
we
do.
we
They've
did
gotten
change
so much stuff. Like Mode and Moxite, you need like 1 million copies of those in foil.
I did buy 1 million copies.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
changed Gut Leader. Me and Gator put our heads together. We changed Gut Leader. back.
I heard you're playing more rocks now.
So
Playing
we
a
went
little
back-
slower.
Yeah, I went back to more rocks. I'm kind of sad about it. I like the rituals, but I guess.
That's interesting because that sounds a lot like my list.
my list. Yeah. Well, so what happened was people were getting scared of it. And, I mean, when I could turbo out Gut, bloody. But the problem is they were so scared of it that we were getting targeted. And it was either don't let Gut resolve or kill it, right? But we're not the only player at the table that you got to worry about. We're trying to kill the other combo players with you.
Yep.
Some people just, I mean, it's just like they're not understanding that and they're afraid of it. So we slowed the deck down and we made it more resilient to what's happening with the stuff that's, been happening. So we made it more resilient.
Makes sense.
It still will snowball out of control and wreck you.
Yep.
And we didn't change that part. It's still fast.
I mean, like, dude, it would take a lot to change that part. I think Gut can just go nuts when you, like, I don't know, you sneeze at it. You look at it sideways, glance at it the wrong way, and it, boom, army of skeletons. So, yeah.
When I took it to Rags to Riches, and in Chicago, when I went to Chicago to Magic Con, we played with some new players, and they're like, what in the heck is happening? Because, like, I literally started with Gut and, like, 1 skeleton, and in 2 turns, I had, like, 5 skeletons, and it was ridiculous. And it was like, I couldn't even make room on my map with all the stuff I had.
That's fun.
And they're like, that's a problem, and we should kill that.
I know, well, in PDH, I know that, you don't just play Gut, you also play Syr Konrad.
Yes. That's one of my, that's
And
my, they're about
a little
even.
birdie told me that the deck that you top forward with at Rochester at the Upstate New York Pauper Open was basically Syr Konrad.
Yes.
Minus Syr Konrad.
Minus Syr Konrad. So it did share. So I did play Mono Black Sack, and it did share some of the same cards that that Syr Konrad shares. Like, and certain cards are Corrupted Conviction, sack a creature, draw a card, or draw 2 cards, right? Supernatural Stamina. I don't play that in Konrad, but it was in Konrad at one point, and it makes sense to put it in this deck. And then obviously the house, like a Curse Marauder. And, Carrion Feeder. I don't play Carrion Feeder or Mortician Beetle in Konrad, but it has this, and a couple of these other like little 1/1 creatures I don't play, but it just has the same feel of what Syr Konrad is trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was easy about the deck, and I'm an aggro player at heart.
It is legally your first name.
Yeah, in playing these little creatures that replace themselves. So whether I sack them myself, or if I'm doing trading, I've always got a creature on board. So it takes 2 of their cards to get rid of one of mine. So you just got to be careful not to overextend and then use all your sack fodder to keep like a Carrion Feeder alive. Yep. And then getting board wiped by like a Fiery Cannonade or a Breath Weapon, because then you're forced to sack all your creatures.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, the Fiery Cannonade, if it were to hit your creatures from the get-go, right, then they just replace themselves when they come back down. And then you still have a board presence. So it's annoying, but it's also fast.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you're getting hit by like a 1/1. And there's 2 sack outlets in the deck, which help, which is actually 3. No, 2. 2 creatures that sack creatures.
Yeah. What are
the vampire?
What cards are they?
The Bloodthrone Vampire, I think is what it's called.
Yep.
Dude, she was a monster. When I played
does that get +2/+2 every time?
Yes.
Or +1/+1?
It does.
Per creature.
+2. Jesus Christ.
So
yeah, then your Mortician Beetle also goes up while you're doing that.
Yeah, so if you have Mortician Beetle out and that, then it's just... And then I had sometimes where I put like a Sadistic Glee on her, which was hilarious. So then
just for kicks?
Oh my
Does
god.
that make it enormous?
That's insane.
And then I put what you wanted to do was... And I did it sometimes, but I didn't try to go for that as much. But you put a Sadistic Glee onto the Festering Zombie, and then you sack all your creatures, which makes your Festering Zombie.
Nessa Chandler.
Nessa Chambler. What did I say? Festering Zombie? Stupid.
Yeah, you said a completely different name.
Yeah, Nessa Chambler. And you sack all these creatures, and the Sadistic Glee pumps your creature.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, let's say you get, I don't know, 5 creatures. So now your vampire is like 2 times 5, right? So she's like a 10. And then you sack the Nessa Chambler. Then you get 5 more squirrels that come into play tap that you just sack, and you just one-shot somebody.
Dude, insane.
That does sound crazy.
That's insane.
Another thing that I did, but I didn't do it in the tournament, but I did it a different way. And I almost killed High Tide with an OTK with that same concept. I didn't have Sadistic Glee, but I had a bunch of creatures that I just put out there. I sacked the Infested Sage, which makes the bug, the flying bug. And I sacked it. Well, before I sacked it, I put Supernatural Stamina on it, sacked it, made a bug, came back, sacked it, made a bug, sacked 2 bugs, or put another Supernatural Stamina on it, sack it, it comes back. So now I've got 2 bugs and the Shambler, or the Infested Sage, sack it again, make 2 more bugs, and then sack, and then swing in for game. But I was
That's
1
crazy.
creature short from killing High Tide. I did my math wrong.
Oh, I think we're gonna get to the matchups in a little bit.
I got you. Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah. So Rohan, what deck were you playing?
Yeah, you have some questions for us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because we're talking a lot about Aaron's decks. Well, Aaron's deck. But Rohan, what deck were you playing? Because you say that you're playing Familiars a lot. I have your list put up here.
Yes.
I have one question for you on this Familiars list.
Sure.
You have 7 foil islands.
Yeah.
Why is the 8th one not foil?
Wait, what? They should all be foiled. What are you talking about?
Or at least on Moxfield it says that the 8th one's not foil.
That's a mistake. No. So actually, interestingly enough, I've got 8 islands in my. Actually, do I have 8 or 9? I don't know, probably 8. 8 islands in my list, but actually, my paper list, each island is a different art. They're all OG They're all like pre-modern era foils.
Okay, I see what's going on because one of them is listed weird and does not have a price on it, even though it has like the foil stamp on it.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I don't know. But they're all like they're all from artists who are like specific arts from the time when I was like really seriously into like Type 1 basically Magic at the time. It's like Invasion, Onslaught, 7th Edition, Mercadian Mass. So it's all art for like foil art islands from that period.
Well, according to this, I'm looking at the list and it's showing that you have all 7th edition islands and all 7th edition planes.
Yeah, I just put that in because it was easy. I didn't go through and change every island art to like the same thing. That's too annoying, man. Yeah, but that island art in there and that plains art, that's my favorite island art of all time. My favorite plains art of all time. They're both Jonavon classic, right?
Yeah. So could you explain familiars for people who are not familiar with familiars?
Yeah, familiars is a weird deck. It's probably one of the weirdest decks in 60 card Pauper. It's effectively it's a blue-white control shell, which is like tale as old as time, right? Blue-white control goes way back in the days of your Magic. You basically play counter spells and you make sure that your opponent has no fun. The goal of the deck is to eventually get to a point where you lock your opponent out of playing the game, and or go infinite with a combo by getting infinite life or infinite birds through Murray Mystic. You do that by getting the name of the deck. Familiars is named after the Sunscape Familiar, which is like a 2-mana wall. It's a 0/3 that reduces all your blue spells and green spells, but I'm not playing any green spells. Blue spells by 1 colorless. The most important spell that you're reducing is Ghostly Flicker. Ghostly Flicker, you reduce it down to 1 blue mana with 2 familiars out, and Archaeomancer lets you get an infinite loop. You loop the Ghostly Flicker by targeting an Archaeomancer on an island. It flickers the island. Island comes back into play untapped. The Archaeomancer flickers. You put the Ghostly Flicker that you just cast from your graveyard back into your hand, and then you do it again because you got the untapped island, and you can just do that forever now. And then you have a Godfarer's Faithful on board that lets you, it triggers whenever you cast a blue spell, and then you get infinite life from that. Or Murray Mystic, when you cast an instant sorcery spell, you get a bird. Infinite birds, pass a turn, you just kill them with infinite birds. The combo is not really necessary for the deck to win, but it's there to close out games in time. Because without it, you probably wouldn't be able to finish your game 1s in time. But a lot of the times in game 2 and 3 actually side out the combo, and you just play straight control.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the sideboard, and you have the 3 Hydro Blasts, a bunch of Dust to Dust, and 3 more counter spells in Loose Focus and Negate. So, yeah, that looks...
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting. I played against it with Infect, and I couldn't beat it.
Basically, it's really hard to win with Infect against that deck because it just plays a lot of relevant removal between the main and the side. In the main, you have 4 snaps, and you have Thraben Charm, or I played Thraben Charm in the main, which is actually relevant. You can Thraben Charm at sorcery speed on my turn. It forces him to play the pump spells, on my turn, which is, they're not very useful for killing me.
Yeah.
You have to do it to save your guy, which is a bad place to be. Or it just gets snapped, which is just brutal. Like, what do you do against a snap on nothing? You get wrecked.
I need to get Archaeomancer looped, and it's like...
Yeah, and then I wouldn't say Archaeomancer comes down and starts getting the snaps back, it's all over. But yeah, the deck, it's actually, I think of it like a prison deck. It's a prison control deck. You really want to make sure that they
that makes sense.
Stop playing the game.
Yeah, was there any changes that you had to make going into the tournament, Rohan?
Yeah, so I actually locally, over the past few weeks, I was testing a different version of the deck. So we had a bunch of new cards that came out with Edge of Eternities, right? Cryogen Relic is one of them, right? Everyone's talking about that. But, it's huge, of course, in PDH, especially like Abdel. Actually, Familiars is like Abdel Blue, but the 60-card deck. The stuff that Abdel Blue is doing by flickering stuff for value, that is exactly what Familiars is.
Sounds like a Kunks deck.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. And just like Abdel, it's really slow and tends not to close out games.
Yeah, I think adding Cryogen Relic would just add to that problem and not being able to ever finish.
So people were adding Cryogen Relic because, like, 6 card, you play 4 of a card. Because you could actually play multiple Cryogen Relics, and then you, instead of just playing one Ghostly Flicker, like I'm doing, you play like 3 or 4, and then you can just like Ghostly Flicker on like your opponent's end step 2 Cryogen Relics to draw 4 cards, which can be pretty strong, especially if your Ghostly Flickers are reduced in cost. You draw a ton more cards, and then, I was playing Foil in the main deck because you're just drawing so many cards with islands. You're like, screw it. I can just force a will you, right? Which is pretty nasty. The problem is with when you're doing that is that you end up drawing too many cards. So then you're kind of in a situation where you need to be on the Modern Age, which, there's like 2 different ways to build familiars, one with the Modern Age and one with Meeting of Minds and like more creatures on board. And so you need the Modern Age to like draw a discard so you can get rid of the lands because you're just drawing all your lands, right? I don't know. I tested it locally for 2 weeks straight, and I just didn't love it. It is definitely good, but you don't have answers. You sacrifice answers for just drawing tons of cards and just like going as hard as possible. And it's just like not my style. Like I don't play the deck like a combo deck. I play it like a control deck, and I have more success doing that. And I think if you wanted to play it like a straight pure combo deck as fast as possible, you'd play the Cryogen Relics. Just didn't work out for me, so I switched it back to the control version of the deck, and it seemed to work all right. Actually, it's funny. The only testing that I did with like control version of the deck, like at least in the month before the tournament, was just the games I played with Aaron. on the day before, I just won every single game. I was like, all right, we're locked in.
Yeah, you won every game. I could beat it, and it was really annoying.
The deck is frustrating to play against for sure.
So, Aaron, your deck choice was like a last minute change. Did you have to do any changes to your deck list depending on the meta going into there, or do you just go, yep, here it is, I'm just going to run it?
So I didn't know the meta because I'm not from here. I'm not from Rochester. I was just assuming it's going to be familiars. Jund Wildfire was a big thing, right? I just thought it was going to be a lot of that. Maybe and I learned about High Tide later on. It was like there could be High Tide there, and I'm like, so I was going to go play Infect. Like I said, mono green Infect. Rohan just smoked me, and then that night they're like, you should play a different deck. You should play a different deck. I'm like, nah, I'm just going to send it. Like I just had some bad games, They're like, nah, you should play a different deck, and they're like, here, at least try one. And then Chum was like, let me see what I got for you. He's like, this. And I got Madness, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you know what? Let's try mono green sack. And I'm like, or not mono green sack, but mono black sack. And I'm like, sure, give it to me. And then I just clobbered everybody I played. And they're like, you definitely should play that. And then I kept seeing Supernatural Stamina a little more than I wanted to because there was 3 copies in the main deck at the time. And I put a land in it to replace it. And I made some changes that Chum had. For some reason, he was running.
Was he running like wedding invitation?
So he put wedding invitation in there afterward, and then I drew it, and I'm like, I get why you want to play it. I get it, but paying 2 mana to draw a card to sacrifice it to make your creature, unblockable, which there was sometimes in the tournament that I wish I had that. But I would rather had just because we switched it with. Another Corrupted Conviction, and we went with 2 Corrupted Convictions. I was like, I'd just rather just sack a creature, draw a card. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, he was playing an Escape Tunnel.
Oh, Escape Tunnel.
And I was like, why are you playing this? And he's like, oh, because it makes your creature unblockable. I'm like, yeah, until it gets big. Then it don't.
I don't know. It feels I don't know. It just feels like one of those things where, like, if a creature gets too big, and I can't jump block it, or cool, I can jump block it. What's the point?
And then we just joked around. It's like, you know what the best removal is? Player removal. That's the best creature removal is player removal. So I switched that land to a swamp, and then I had 17 lands at the time, and then I was seeing Supernatural Stamina in a little places because we were playing 3, and then we took it out for another land. So we went to 18 lands. But that's what we went in with. I put in a land, and then I put in another Corrupted Conviction prior to the tournament.
Yeah, because whenever you're playing any sort of mono black deck, you love your card draw.
Oh, yeah. And it was definitely needed it.
Yeah, so, I mean, going into the tournament, what decks were you seeing a lot of? Because we have the list here, and it looks like mostly
I can quickly run through the top 16, and then maybe we could chat a little bit about the rest of it. But like in general, I would say it was super diverse. I mean, like I don't know about you, Aaron, but I don't think there was like any one particular type of deck that I saw like a ton of.
Yeah, because like in the top 8 alone, there's technically one deck that's doubled in Callgates, but that's like one. There were like three or four Callgates players.
Callgates
so actually,
was one of the guys that Rohan was talking to. I guess that he was
Josh,
friends with was playing Callgates.
Yep.
And I think he ended up top 8ing as well.
It looks like he finished in
fifth.
Joshua Fry, he top 8'd. He was undefeated for the longest period of time.
He was the top seed through most of the tournament.
And then,
basically all the way up until top 8.
When we walked around, right, I saw some like familiars. There was at least 2 Tron decks there I know of because I played against one, and then our buddy Marco had one.
Yep.
So that was 2 Tron decks for sure. I only saw the 1 red-green monster deck. I didn't even see Callgates. I didn't even play against it. And I didn't play against familiars. So I had like the back end of the spectrum.
Yeah, it looks like there's only 2 familiar players, and we're talking to half of them.
Yeah, there were only 2 of us. The other being Calicai's of like 60 card Pauper, fame, the 60 card content creator. If you are not familiar with his stuff, you should definitely check out his YouTube channel.
Yeah, and we met him. Like I talked briefly to him. Dude's jacked as shit. He's like this. Like,
he's a big dude. But he's a really nice guy. Jake's he's very sweet. He signed my familiars for me, which was pretty dope. But yeah, the top 16, we got, let's see, going down from top down, we got Mono Blue Terror. In first, we've got, it says Mono Red Synth, but it's actually Red Rally, which is like the go wide version with Rally at the Hornberg. Aaron in third with the Black Sack deck. We've got fourth and fifth were both Callgates. The Callgates had to play each other.
Yeah, that was a mirror.
There was a Callgates mirror match. It looked like the most absolute miserable thing I've ever seen.
They played
I had to play that.
Horrible.
With Gator, was like months ago. That shit was miserable.
It sounds miserable. It's like whoever gets out the standard bearer first, like wins, and then can keep it protected. I guess that's who wins. Then we had Elves. Mitch was actually the guy who ran the whole tournament. It's his tournament. He's super cool, super nice guy.
It was actually chromatic Elves.
Yep. It's full color Elves. And Aaron, we'll get to the matchups, but you played against him.
I did play against that
in top 8.
Yep, top 8.
Wait.
Yep.
Okay, because I'm looking at the deck list, and I just saw the sideboard, and I see the Fairy Macabre and the Mesmeric Fiend. I was like, okay, that looks...
Well, anyone can run Fairy Macabre. That's like a colorless spell, effectively.
Yeah, that's like DD Crow.
Or like a spicy choice, yeah. Gruul Ramp in 7th. I didn't play against... There was actually a bunch of Gruul Ramp that showed up. I played against a different player, but I played that matchup. Did you play against the guy who was 7th?
Maybe. It was...
Earlier in Swiss?
Who I played against he was like a kid.
Okay, we played against the same kid then. Yeah, he's a high schooler. His name is Colton. He's a super nice kid. Really smart, good player. He knew his stuff too. He knew all his triggers. He
knew his deck.
Very good.
And on top of that, he also knew something that I didn't know. I didn't know that judges carry tokens in their pocket.
Yeah,
just in case you need them.
Yeah.
Because he asked for one. He's like, "Can you make me a treasure token?"
Yeah, for all you grinders out there, that's something.
Yeah, and I did hear him. When I was in top 8, it was either top. I think I was playing against Mitch. It was either top 8 or top.
Yeah. You needed.
He was like, I'm the only one who beat Mono Black Sack. Yeah, he was bragging.
That's funny.
He's like, yeah, I beat that dude.
Yeah.
I was his only loss.
It's funny because he beat you, and I played him in the next because that sent him back down into the people who had one loss at that time, and it went to me. So then I played him right after Colton, and then I beat him, and then I sent him down down into the depths of the tournament. Poor guy.
It's like it's like Rohan. You beat my friend, but now it's my turn to beat you, and he never came back.
That happened to me. I know we'll get to matches. That happened to me again, where I played against this one person from the Syracuse crew, and she kicked my ass, and then I had to go play against her teammate, and I kicked his ass. All right, what else? All right, so we had Gruel Ramp and 7th, and then 8th was Calicai's with Familiars, with the he was on the Cryogen Relic Familiars, the other version of Familiars that I was testing, but I didn't like it. But he wasn't playing any Seagate Oracles, and he lost to Elves. I didn't lose to Elves. So I had bodies on the ground. I had a bunch of 1-3s,
I can't get through those until I get my stupid Timberwatch.
Right. It does buy you 2 turns, maybe, at least 1.
Yeah.
So which is great. It was important. All right, then there was a Bogles in 9th, Madness Burn after that. I was expecting to see. All right, so we were making this joke. First of all, let's go back to Bogles. We were making a joke that we each beat a Bogles player. Did you play against Bogles?
I did, first round.
You did. So almost every single person in our group played against a Bogles player.
There's 3 of them. So yeah, that's statistically possible.
The guy who got 9th is the guy I played against.
I played against a different one, but we all played against Bogles, and out of the 5 of us who went, only poor Marco is the only one who lost to Bogles. We all destroyed Bogles.
Yeah, I had that deck for a week, and I was like, this shit sucks. Why do people play it? But I mean, this guy made 9th.
He didn't make 9th.
He did.
It's so matchup dependent with that deck. You run into the wrong matchup, and you get smoked.
It's hey, you have a Karkland Shaman? All right, cool, good game.
Or a Curse Marauder.
Or Cursed Marauder. Oh, man.
It's you're playing Mono Black Sack? All right, here, cool. I say in the match we don't have to do a game 2. You're good.
I mean, another card that just hoses that deck, and I this came up with is Standard Bearer, and I play. This guy goes to cast a Armadillo Cloak, and on his Sylvana Ledgewalker, right? And I'm like, all right. Sweet. My Standard Bearer is gonna be a 3/3 with lifelink. Yo.
It was wait, what?
He's like,
yeah.
No. What do you mean? I'm targeting my Ledgewalker. I'm like, no. You're targeting my Standard Bearer because you have to. And he's like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, dude, you have to. And he's like, and then he just gets totally silent, and he just T-bows for 5 minutes straight, just looking at his card. He just starts moving his cards one at a time, reading every card, and then he does it again, and he's like, "So I don't think I can win." I'm like,
"Oh my god!"
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The fact that you had to go all the way down to former NFL legend Tim Tebow is hilarious.
Oh man. So Boggles made it into the top 16. Then we have Madness Burn, which I didn't actually see. I guess there's actually quite a bit of Burn, but not a lot of Madness. Not a lot of.
I played against.
There's 2 Madness Burns apparently. Is there?
Okay, there were 2.
No, yeah, never mind. There's 3 Madness Burns and 1 regular burn.
But I still expected more.
The one at top 10, the one that got 10, I played against that guy.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, dude, your breakers must have been crazy.
Yeah, 11th is Gruel Ponza.
Yep, 11th is Gruel Ponza, then Mono Blue Fae. Did you play against that Fae player, Aaron?
Nope. No. I didn't play against no
Faes. One of us... it was John, another guy in our group, Jersey City local, John Tully. He played against that Fairies play. He said it was very good. I don't know his last name, just as James, but he's from Westchester, and there was a whole crew of people from Westchester. For those who don't know, that's a little suburb that's north of New York City. They're kind of their own meta. It's kind of like my crew here in Jersey City. we're adjacent to New York City, but not really technically part of the New York City crew. There's like a New York City crew. They did not show up. No one from the proper Manhattan Pauper sort of crew showed up, but there were definitely New York folks there. All right. After Mono Blue Fade, then there's Madness Burn. So another Madness. The 2 Madnesses made top 16. I mean, it's pretty good. It's a good deck. Then yours truly in 14th. And then another mono red player, except just on straight mono red synthesizer. So there's like overall, like of all the mono red, that was probably, if you combine them all into one archetype, that's the most common in top 16. And then Grixis Affinity, this guy Thorn.
The solo Grixis Affinity player.
He was the only Grixis player. Yeah, the only Grixis Affinity player. And he was kind of hanging out with us. He was there by himself. So he was kind of sitting near us and chatting with us.
He played against Eric.
He played against Eric, yep, and lost to Eric in turns, actually. But clearly did pretty well. I think his list was pretty stock for the most part. I mean, if you notice, like, all these lists, I mean, not a lot of artifact decks. I mean, later down, there's like Aaron, you played against Mardu Synthesizer, right?
Yeah.
So there's like another artifact deck. I played against the number 17th spot, just outside of just missed top 16. Says his list is listed as other, but it was super spicy. It's probably the spiciest list in the whole tournament, or up there. Eric, our chum, he had a pretty spicy list. But this guy was playing Esper, Cryogen, Relic list with Glinthawks and Core Skyfishers to bounce the Relic, but then also Steelfin Whale with Tooth of Chisgoria and Retraction Helix.
Okay, so he's running that combo, so okay.
Also, at the same time, and dude, somehow, I don't know how he had the slots in this deck, but I saw all of those cards. I saw Counter Spells. I saw Thraben Charm. I saw Cast Down. I saw Navigator's Compass. I saw Lembus. I was like, how
Rohan,
have space? He's just running one-ofs of all these cards, I guess. Dude, I don't know. How did he find these cards?
Very easy. It's very easy to explain. 60 card is the minimum you're able to have in a deck. You can put as many cards in your deck as long as you're able to shuffle it.
I was shook, dude. I played this guy round 2, and it just felt like every time I did anything, he always had the answer to what I was doing. I was like, all right, turn 2 Sunscape Familiar. He's like, Counterspell. I'm like, he had turn 1 Mistfall Bridge, turn 2 Seed of the Synod. So I guess, he had 2 blue up to actually cast a Counterspell in a 3-color deck. I was like, what? How, bro? No, not cool. And then,
you can't even mulligan for that either.
Dude,
You're just like,
and then the next turn he plays Ancient Den, and Refurb, and then Glinthawk bounces Refurb. I was like, oh, I'm screwed. I'm just dead. I'm just done. Like my turn 2 play that had to resolve just died. I was on a mull to 5. And then I got refurbed, and then he refurbs me twice the next turn. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, all right, it's turn 4, and I have 2 cards in hand, and they're lands. I'm dead.
We'll go to game 3,
bro. And he's got refurb, and on board he's got refurb, Core Skyfisher, Glinthawk, and then eventually he goes Steelfin Whale. I'm like, all right, I'm just freaking kill me, dude. Just kill me, bro. Just kill me.
The only rogue deck I saw was the Chums.
Yeah, so Eric Chum Guzzler was playing. He was playing Jund Pilipala.
Yeah, I'm looking at his list, and it's not making any sense to me.
Trust me, we sent it to Gator, and Gator's like, and Gator's pretty good at decks, and he's just like, I don't know how this wins.
Yeah, it's a crazy deck, and I was testing it with Eric for 2 weeks before the tournament. We honed it in pretty good. The way it works is that you play Pilipala. This is like a combo card from the back in the days of PDH, where the days of yore, pre-Lay Lord Weaver combo. But Pilipala says it's an artifact creature with flying. It's a 1/1 for 2 mana. It says tap 2, untap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. And then what you do is you play the enchantment Careful Cultivation on it. That basically gives it the ability
Oh, to
tap to add 2 green mana.
Yeah.
Which basically you tap it to add 2 green mana, use that 2 green mana to untap it to add it 1 mana of any color, infinite mana of all colors, and then at that point, you just start drawing your deck. You have like a ton of draw spells in this deck. You've got Eviscerator's Insights, you've got Fanatical Offerings, you've got Stormshriek Feral, which is a Tarkira card. I don't really think it's seeing much play. I mean, maybe it's seeing some PDH play. Probably not. Maybe.
No, because in a 100-card deck, it's kind of hard to see the same card again.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing two of these and you're just drawing them, like you might see it.
Yeah.
Right?
So like this card is a draw spell. It's a filter spell, but also it's an infinite outlet because
it's a dragon with fire breathing.
It has fire breathing and haste and flying. And then right. So you eventually draw your deck by playing all these random draw spells. You have
the Engine Rat.
And then you find, either the Storm Shriek or you find the Engine Rat, which says pay 6 mana for each opponent to lose 2 life. And you have infinite mana, and that's the best because you just, if you play it, if it resolves, then you win because you just can put it on the stack in response to literally anything and you just win.
Yeah.
So
it's slow as dirt, but it works.
It's too late. Yeah, by the time it resolves, it's too late.
I mean, at least he made top 32, right?
I mean, he did have a winning record. He went 3-2, I think.
Yep, he went 3-2. Yep.
Yeah, so we can't make fun of him completely. We can still make fun of him.
He did all right.
It's still very respectable.
No, he went 3-2-2 because he had 2 draws, so 3-2-2.
Yeah. The draws were, I think, the rough part. Losing 2 is honestly inevitable. 1 to 2 matches, it's whatever. You have bad matchups, but the draws really kill you. Especially if you have more than 2 losses. The moment you get a single draw after that, it's over for top 16. The fact that he drew twice is bad. I mean, the one problem with the deck is that it kind of does suffer the Jund issue that it is still, while it can win turn 3, technically, it can, but, you have to protect your combo, and you need an outlet. You need all these other parts, and so the deck tends to win way later. And you also have a mid-range plan with Writhing Chrysalis. You end up you want to stall the game until you can find the combo and then kill them. But a lot of the times you're not finding your combo till turn 9, 10, 12.
So I suggested, now this is what I suggested Chum should do. He should put in Shred Memory so then he can search his combo piece. Because Pilly Pal is 2 mana.
It's not a bad idea. It doesn't find the enchantment, though.
It doesn't find the enchantment, but however, it does find the Bitter Reunion to give it haste.
Yeah, that's fair.
I guess.
That's fair. You can also find a draw spell if you need it. It's not the worst. Also, it's pretty good Grave Hate.
Yes. It can. So it's got 2 utilities. 2 utility cards.
I could see it.
Maybe not as a 4-of, maybe a 2.
Yeah, but that was the meta. It was a pretty varied. It was a varied mix. It was a mix of terror, a lot of red decks, as you would expect. A bunch of rogue decks, which was cool to see. Decent amount of Gruul Ramp, Coggates, which is kind of weird.
I personally thought you would see I thought you would see Coggates.
You expected Coggates? I didn't expect Coggates.
No, I didn't expect it, but when y'all talked about it at that point, I was like, well, there'll probably be Coggate there. And then I expected. Then you're like, oh, well, High Tide could be a deck, and I'm like, oh, I guess High Tide could be there because people like to play High Tide. And then, but I mainly thought it was going to be Red, Infinity, and Jund Wildfire. Terror.
So there were a ton of Jund Wildfire players actually, but they're all in the bottom half of the bracket.
That's awful to hear.
Dude,
and there's only 1 High Tide player, and the dude got 45th place.
Yeah, I played against it.
The highest Jund Wildfire made it was 27th, and then all the Jund Wildfires are in the bottom half. Just did not. Jund Wildfire got crapped on at this tournament. Yep.
Yeah,
could have been also maybe there could have been factors too, maybe they're not used to the deck, or
I think time is a major issue.
Time was a big one.
There were a decent amount of people going to time.
Yeah, would you say time was your hardest matchup?
Not at all, actually, which is crazy because in New York, it absolutely was. Time was horrible for me. I went to time in most of my games. I think it was also the nature of the style of Familiars deck I was playing. But this time, my longest match, the longest match I went, still had 8 minutes on the clock when I was done.
My hardest matchup was red green ramp. The other matchup that
You went to turns, Zach. You went to turns in a few games, right? Yeah, you actually went. It's crazy. The aggro deck went to time more often than me, the slow ass control deck.
Well, Aaron, I kind of hope this offends you, but like, Aaron, sometimes you just play slow as balls. You're just there looking at your hand. It's just only like one card in your hand, and you're like, hold on, I gotta think. I gotta do the math.
I don't know. I don't know about that, but I don't like. I was watching some Aaron's matches. I don't think he played particularly slow. I mean, I think you did make measured decisions. I do think you had some matchups though. Like you ran into some matchups that were just so crazy. Like you ran into like he ran into the Crip Rats Tron, like the black fog Tron that's running like
it was Crip Rats.
Toxin analysis.
Yeah.
No. What's the fog? Moments Piece, right? It's running like Moments Piece and
no,
Crip Rats.
I didn't see Moments Piece.
That sounds miserable. What the hell?
Fangren Marauder, right?
Yeah, so I had Fangren Marauder. So what the cards I saw were Fangren Marauder, Crip Rats, and the Kirk Clan Shaman.
What the hell do I even type for that?
Those were the three creatures I saw, and game one crushed me. Like,
Oh, there it is. Turbo Fog.
he had so much mana.
It's not Turbo Fog. It's Fangren Tron or Windconless Tron. There's like a few different names for it, but there's a lot of ways to build it. And it also plays Stream of Thought. It's a crazy deck, man.
It was like, but if we're on like the most interesting one, I think that was the interesting one.
I think it was the only list like that.
Game one, he destroyed me.
Yeah.
Game two, we went to time. We went to turns, and I ended up winning in turns. But he decides to just nuke me and him together with Crip Rats. And I held up 3 mana on... So what I wanted to do was I saw that he was pulling creatures from his graveyard. So I'm like, you know what? If I can hit them Crip Rats, I'll be okay, right? Or the Kirk Clan Shamans. I put in Crypt Incursion just because of that. And then looking back, it was like just like shits and giggles at that point. But it ended up saving my life because so he had 1 Crip Rats in his hand. And I'm like, if he tries to bring that Crip Rats back, I'm going to nuke it out of the graveyard because that tells me he doesn't have any other Crip Rats in his hand. Yep. So I was going to nuke it out. Well, it never got to that point, and then he just he played a Crip Rats again, and I'm like, well. So then I was looking, and I was like, I had a sack thing on the field, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to load my graveyard full of creatures, and then Crypt Incursion myself. And he hit me for he had so much mana. He had 21 black mana, and he just nukes both of us.
Yeah,
it was Franklin, so bad.
It filters all the Tron mana through Wizard's Rockets to make all the colored mana.
Yeah, he was like,
I'm looking at it now. It's ridiculous.
And then so he filters 21 black mana, and I'm at 19, and he's at 20 something, or like 15. So he had to gain life through by sacking the
like
artifacts
or something.
No, he sacrificed the artifacts to the Kirk Clan Shaman.
Oh, to trigger the Finger Marauder.
To trigger the Finger Marauder.
Yep.
To save it, to gain 5 life.
That's crazy.
And then I Crypt Incursioned myself, and I had like 8 creatures in my graveyard by the time everything was over with, and I gained 8 times 3. And he was just like, oh. And then I played around that, and I kept every card in my hand. I had 5 cards in my hand, and as soon as he Crip Rats and blew up the whole board, and he had 2 cards in hand, I just slammed everything in my hand. And next turn,
awesome.
So that was turn 0. I was turn 1. I slammed everything down. He went to turn 2, and in turn 3, I just nuked him off the field.
God, that's crazy.
That's so sick.
Yeah,
but we ended up 1-1 and draw. That was my time. And then the other time match, I actually went to time with High Tide, which was kind of annoying.
That makes sense, though.
I beat him in turns 2.
Yeah, because they that deck monopolizes the clock like very few other decks can, unfortunately.
Yeah, Rohan, did you have any fun, memorable experiences like that?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned the one about the Boggles player. I felt so bad for that guy, man. Like, game 2, like, game 1, I got the infinite combo before he could do anything. I was like, all right. And then game 2, I played the standard bear, and then he was like, all right, I don't think I can win. But I'm like, but do you want to play it out? And he's like, yeah, I'll still play it out. And then the following turn, I found Stonehorn Dignitary.
Oh my god!
And then I played Meeting of Minds that I just that I had in hand already. You know, cast it by tapping a bunch of my creatures, so I cast it for free, which drew me into Archaeomancer. Played Archaeomancer, got back the Ghostly Flicker. Then I'm like, well, now I can loop this over and over again every turn, flickering the Stonehorn Dignitary, and you lose all your combats. He's like, wait, what?
So like, yeah, so the target player loses.
I'm like, yeah, man, you don't get to attack ever again. He's like, so now I really can't win. I'm like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, another thing. So speaking of memorable moments, because Rohan didn't mention it, he played against the Turbo Fog deck.
Oh yeah. So I was actually just getting there. I started off the whole tournament with a bang, dude. It was crazy. I was really scared because game 1 I got crushed by Turbo Fog. Because like at first he played an enchantment. I forgot the name of it, but it says that it's an enchantment that says whenever you draw a card, your opponent mills that many cards. It's like a 2-mana enchantment.
That's an old enchantment.
He played it on turn 2, and I was like,
it's like Jace's something.
Jace's Erasure. That's what it is. At first, I thought he might be playing just like some random mill deck with like persistent petitioners or something. I'm like, maybe it's a persistent petitioners deck. Maybe I don't know. I'm not that scared of it. But then he started like drawing a lot of cards. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna mill out because I'm also drawing a lot of cards. Because I just draw a lot of cards at this deck. I'm like, oh, this is bad. And I could never find. I never found the Thraben Charm fast enough. Oh, like before I could find the Thraben Charm, I end up having to mill it. I ended up milling literally all my familiars, all my Archaeomancers, all my Ghostly Flickers, and like anything that was relevant got Thraben Charm. Everything that was relevant got milled, and I'm like, I literally can't win this game anymore. I just have to scoop. So that was bad. I was like, that was a bad way to start off the tournament. Oh my god, I got absolutely smoked my first round against this Turbo Fog. I'm like, crap. I'm like, I know it's a bad matchup for Turbo Fog, but like, what do I do? Because like, I don't have a mill combo in my deck. My win con is Infinite Life, or which doesn't help when you're getting milled, or it's Infinite Birds. But if I make Infinite Birds, if you can fog literally every combat, I just lose.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
I literally can't win. I'm like, oh, this is maybe bad. Both games, game 2 and game 3, one of my sideboard cards came in clutch. I had one loose focus on the board. It was mostly in there for decks like Ponza, Gruul Ramp, to hit like Cascade, because you can hit the Cascade, like the card that has the Cascade trigger, and you can hit the card that's being cast in the stack from the Cascade trigger at the same time, which is like a blowout. It's really quite good. And for Mono Blue Terror, because you can hit a Terror, and if you like replicate your loose focus a bunch of times, then they can't counterspell through that, and they just lose their Terror, which is pretty necessary because like that's the worst matchup for my deck by a long shot. Loose focus I found in both games 2 and 3 against this Turbo Fog deck, and he had the same play in both games. In game 2, so what he's trying to do, and he did this actually with 2 different cards. In game 1, he went for I did a bunch of stuff, right? I'm like storming off, right? I'm like drawing a ton of cards. That's what I do. He moments pieces. I'm like, oh no. And he moments pieces and then plays Arcane Denial, and then Arcane Denial again, holding priority on his moments piece on 2 of his moments piece copies on the stack. If you Arcane Denial the copies, right, you're Arcane Denying your own spell. On my upkeep, he would have drawn 6 cards if those Arcane Denials resolved.
Yeah.
Right? Which is crazy. Like 4 mana for like a ton of life, like 20 something plus life and 6 cards is absurd. It's crazy value. And I was like, all right, man, are you sure? He's like, yep. I'm like, okay. I'm like, snap? And he's like, okay. So like I snap one of my God First Faithfuls, untap mana, Ghostly Flicker, and he's like, what? I'm like, Ghostly Flicker on 2 islands. He's like, okay. I'm like, okay. I'm like, snap again? I'm like, he's like, okay. And I'm like, all right. I only have like 3 cards left in my hand at this point. And then I lose focus with all the blue mana that I just untapped, basically, with the snaps and the Ghostly Flicker. And was able to put the replicates on the stack for each and every single one of his copies of Weather the Storm. So it blew out the entire spell. He lost his Arcane Denials, and basically was stuck with one card in hand at that point. And I got bird triggers off of all that because I had a Murmuring Mystic out. I'm like, all right, we're just going to kill you next turn, dude. It's like, oh,
Jesus.
no.
You pretty much made your own, Flush the Storm at that point.
Yep. And then game 3, he tried the same tech except with his Stream of Thought. He already had one Stream of Thought in the graveyard that he used on himself, to mill himself, to move counter spells back in the deck. And I was like, that's fine. And then later he tries to Stream of Thought again, but targeting me, replicated twice, trying to get his other Stream of Thought back into the deck. And Arcane Denial is one of the copies, and I did the same thing. I'm like, lose focus, all the copies. He's like, damn. He's like, those are both my win cons. He's like, I can't win at this point. I'm like, sick. and then like I find like next turn I'm able to go like Arcane-Mancer. I already had 2 familiars out. I'm like, dude, I think you're. Oh yeah, and then I found Ephemerate. I'm like, all right, I have Ephemerate.
Great.
Like you're cooked, dude. It's over. He's like, it's over. And somehow we managed to 2 of probably the slowest decks in the whole format. We had 15 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, it was crazy because their game 1. When I walked by, their game 1 ended at 22 minutes.
Yep.
Like they had 22 minutes left in the
Yep.
round.
So we played our last 2 games in about 7 minutes.
Yeah, I got up, and they
That's
looked at me
insane.
like.
At least it was super fast, but like, Jesus Christ.
Well, my game 1 was funny because I was like walking around, and they're like, "Are you done?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm done."
Nice. Oh, Aaron, how was your top 8 experience?
My top 8 experience was fun. This is my first top 8.
Yeah, what'd you play in top 8? What'd you play against?
So my top 8 was the Chromatic Elves.
Yeah.
So game 1, I think I won game 1.
You won game 1. He won game 2.
Yeah. So game 2, I couldn't get through him, and I had Rite of Consumption in my hand, and I was purposely attacking, so he will attack me back. So I was purposely attacking to entice him to attack me back, which I was trying to entice him not to block, because he had 33. He had like 30-something life. My Carrion Feeder was like a 15-15.
Jeez.
And he got 3 extra life somehow. I can't remember how, but he got 3 extra life. I had a Rite of Consumption in my hand, so I was actually going to swing at him and then Rite of Consumption him and kill him. But he blocked, and I never could get a chance to. He kept hitting me with a 5/5 every turn.
Yeah. And you guys, like, I remember watching that game, and you guys both had, like, no cards in hand at that point.
Yeah, I
you
didn't
had, like,
have
the one. You had the one card, and he had, like, 1 card, maybe. And they weren't that relevant, and you were just top decking.
Yeah, I had that one relic. I had that one Rite of Consumption in my hand, and I was just top decking that.
Yep.
I went back up to 20 life, but it didn't matter. It was just.
It didn't matter. I think he just found his top decks. They're just better.
Yeah, that happens.
Game 2, however, or game 3, however, I waited for him to overextend, and then
Dude, he made a bunch of mistakes in game 3, and I remember he caught his mistakes later in the match, thinking like, I just distinctly, I remember walking over and watching, and he was like, I saw him realize that he made mistakes, and he was like, no, if I did this, I could have won then.
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
in game 2, he was like, all I had to do was just attack you. And I'm like, yeah, I left myself open to try to entice you to attack me and not block. I didn't want you to block.
I think he was 2 in his head by then.
And then
I mean, it happens when you're in top 8, right?
Well, game 3, he put everything out there and he had a Well-Wisher. And I waited for him to overextend. And when he overextended, I just drowned and sorrowed him. But then he made his Well-Wisher a 5/5. And I'm like, okay, sweet. So he made his Well-Wisher a 5/5. By this time, I had 5 mana. So I used 3 for Drown and Sorrow and Scryed. And then my then I played a Shambling Ghost. And I had a sack outlet. Sack one, draw cards.
Yep.
And I said, all right, pass turn, then your upkeep. I'm going to tap 1. I'm going to sacrifice my Shambling Ghost and deal and -1 your creature. And then he only had 2 cards in hand after that. And all his Winding Ways, nothing.
Yeah.
That's sad to hear.
Maybe one or two.
It happens,
He
unfortunately.
was only drawing like 1 or 2 creatures off of his draw spells.
And he couldn't keep up with me. And then I had I had a carrion feeder and a mortician beetle that were both like 10/10s.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't understand why these elf decks are not running Distant Melody.
They did. He was.
He was.
Oh,
was.
okay, because I don't see in the list.
Oh, I thought he was. He was blue. He had a blue card. In
Oh,
there.
maybe. Oh, that's actually weird. That
No, the only
he's
two blue
not.
cards I've seen in this list are two element. Oh, sorry. Place of Elemental Blast and two Envelop.
Yeah, are you looking at the right one?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he had it.
Weird that he picked Envelop over Dispel too.
I no, because the Envelop stops the Drown Sorrow, so that makes sense.
Stars. That makes sense. And then and then he's playing Hydroblast, I guess, for
all the other red.
all the red board
For all the red sweepers plus Karkland, yeah.
So then my top 4 was against Terror, which ended up winning the tournament anyway. I smoked him game 1. Game 2, I didn't know he sided it, so he sided in gut shots against me, and it was kind of a little brutal, and I couldn't keep it. I actually messed up. I played the carrion feeder out there turn 1, and he gut shotted it. I was like, man, damn. I didn't know.
I think so. Like, I think part of that is like also you're just like inexperienced in the format, because like if you've been playing Pauper pretty regularly over the past like month-ish, like 6-card Pauper, and you play against Terrorless, 90% of the Terrorless are running gut shot now on the board.
Yeah, so I didn't know that.
You would have known that, but because you didn't, you got got.
I got got.
So that makes,
I got
makes
got
sense.
game 2.
Yeah.
Game 1 was really funny. The reason why I beat him game 1 is I had a Curse Marauder, and I played a Curse Marauder, and then I blinked it with the
graveyard flicking Curse Marauder.
with the graveyard flicker, and then came back. And he had two terrors. He had 2 terrors on the field. And I went pop pop, and then he puts another.
Gross.
He puts another the 6/3s out there, and then I did it again because I unearthed. I had
rough,
2
man.
supernatural staminas in my hand, and I unearthed the Curse Marauder. He's like, sure.
My god!
I'm like, stack.
Gojo board wipe for 2 mana.
And I was like, play on the stack. Like I was like, ETB on the stack. He's like, yeah, supernatural stamina. Pop pop. He was so mad. He was so mad.
That's gross.
Get back,
game
dude.
3. Game 3, I kind of got. I had a gas hand. Like my hand was straight gas, but I only had 1 land in it. But I had 2 draw spells. So I hit a land on turn 3, and he did 2. So he actually kept a 1-lander too. So his hand was all gas as well. We started fighting each other pretty much. I messed up, and I tapped 2 to play the Mesmeric Fiend.
Yeah.
And this is what I messed up on. I didn't sacrifice it. I let the ETB resolve, and I didn't sacrifice it before the ETB happened. So the card could just go away forever. That's just lack of experience. And even though I got told about it later, I thought that you had to let it resolve before you could, then you could sack it to get rid of it. But it doesn't happen like that. And I that was my mistake. It really didn't matter because he had straight gas in his hand, like creatures. I took a terror, but he had like 2 other terrors. And he had Delver on the field too on top of that.
Yeah, it was just he exploded. He had an insane hand. He just exploded.
What other hurt me? So my 2 draw spells that I was going to use to refill my hand, I was using them like at end of turn, or just trying to get another land or more gas, and he countered them, and I couldn't do nothing about it because Rohan watched the whole game, and he was just like, "Man, that sucks."
Yeah, there wasn't honestly much you could do in that game 3 against the Terra player.
The only thing I could do different was I could have mulliganed to a faster hand. You never. I mean,
yeah, but I think the hand that you kept was actually really good. You had 1 mana, 2 draw spells, and you had multiple 1-drop creatures. What
I think
what more could you ask? Really, I mean, that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, you should be able to find everything you need afterwards.
With that said, it's a little that is extra risky against a deck that plays 3 spell pierces.
Yeah, and I got spell pierce, and I got
because like you need those draw spells to resolve to find your land drops, and if they don't resolve, you are totally screwed.
Yeah, so lack of experience, It is what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what I learned from this one. And if I play Mono Black Sack again next time, I'm going to play a lot better now that I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Anything else you would do differently other than just study the format a little bit more?
I'm not really. The deck played very well. Now, I mean,
Any cards you would change? That I know
now,
afterwards.
so
you
we
made
did
some
do card
right?
changes afterward. So since Mono Green Terror, or not Mono Green Terror, but since Green Red Monsters or Green Red Ramp was my only problem, I ended up taking out a lot of the cards that were in there, and I put in 2 Snuff Outs. And instead of having Rotten Reunion, right, for 1 mana, I put in 2 Fairy Macaques because Fairy Macabre can't be stopped, and Rotten Reunion can be. So I'd rather just play 2 Fairy Macabres on the board instead. And then we put in 2 Snuff Outs. Oh, and we added another Curse Marauder on the side. We play 2 main board and 2 on the board now instead of just playing 3.
I think
Because
that makes sense.
the Curse
So
Marauder
good.
was a house.
Such a blowout.
I did play against burn decks, and we have life gain in there, like Crypt Incursion and the staff. And they were telling me, like, oh, look how good the staff is, but I never saw it. I beat the burn player before I even had that chance to do it.
That's crazy.
I did end up seeing the Crypt Incursion during the burn thing, but by that time it was too late.
Rohan, what changes would you make?
Just one, and I don't know. It's mostly a test. So I got totally housed by Terror. Lost both games very quickly. Game 1 was just like I couldn't win. They had too many things. They had multiple Delvers. They had like 3 Delvers out by turn 3, and they flipped them all. And I was like, I'm so super.
Yeah, I don't think that's anything that you are in control of.
No, yeah, I just got housed there. But game two was a different story. It was long, dragged out, and I stabilized actually, and I had 2 Murmuring Mystics out, like 8 birds at some point, and like a bunch of other random things. No cards in hand, and she had like 6 snakes out, and also no cards in hand. So it was like a matter of time. Eventually, like her snakes would kill all my stuff. But I'm like, oh, I just have to find any card draw. I'm gonna make a bird. It's gonna buy me that. Each bird buys me a whole turn, basically. I'm gonna make a bird. I'm gonna draw more cards, which will find me more card draw, and I'm just going to just overwhelm because I have 2 Murmur Mystics out. Like this should be easy. Like I have this locked at this point because she has no cards, and that deck has no card draw. Well. Top deck's Lord revealed twice in a row, and I'm like, you're kidding me, really?
I know Rohan went 15-2, but I feel like he kind of got robbed a little bit because he actually had the best record out of all of us.
5-2, 15-2.
Sorry, not
Man,
yeah, bro. If you went 15-2, I'm pretty sure you won like 5 of
I was
it.
playing Magic for weeks.
Rohan went 5-2, and I feel like he kind of got robbed a little bit. Maybe his tiebreakers kind of hurt him, but
my tiebreakers were pretty bad.
Only 1 15-2 made it, and I was so hoping that it was going to be Rohan because, like, he literally was doing the best out of all of us. Like, I just snuck in there, like, by the skin of my teeth, but he actually was the one that was doing better than all of us.
Yeah, I had a lot of games that were 2-0. But, yeah, that terror match made me really sad because if I just top deck any draw spell, which I have, it's like the whole deck is or draw spells, I definitely could have won that. So the only change that I made is that I felt like Thraben Charm. So I won Thraben Charm in the main and 1 in the board. I didn't run into any spy. There was only 2 spy lists, which actually I thought there would be a ton of spy combo decks. There were not. I didn't run into Jund at all. I probably bring 1 Thraben Charm there anyway. Didn't run into spy. Didn't run into Dredge, and I didn't run into any Flicker decks either. So I brought in because I thought that all right, well, Karajan Relic is out. Maybe there's going to be Flickertron and or other Familiars decks playing flickering stuff, or even Jeskai Ephemerate. Didn't see any of those decks at all being played. So I think my other Thraben Charm in the board was unnecessary. And a lot of the times, I mean, there are times where I brought it in against Elves, but like I don't even think it's that good against. It's okay against Elves. It's not that amazing.
Yeah, you just like target one thing and you go.
I have better removal. I've got Last Breath, which is just straight up better against Elves because it just exiles a creature instead of like needing to have creatures on board to deal damage, and even then they can pump it potentially. So then what, right? Like it's no good. I cut that just for a Circle Protection Blue because I just needed the extra help for the Terror match because I saw all my sideboard cards against Terror as well in my game, and I saw both Draven Charms. I saw both Draven Charms. I used one to exile a graveyard, which was great, slowed the game down, and then the one I killed a snake with it. I mean, I killed a Delver with it, which felt
Okay,
It felt like a
anything
totally
you did.
bad use of a card, like killing such a useless card. I'm like, that sucks. So it just wasn't very relevant. So I think I'm going to cut back on one of those, and that's it. Like honestly, though, my list felt awesome. It felt very powerful. It felt very strong. My opening hands were good. Like even when I mulled down, I rarely had to mull down to 4. I only did once, and I lost that game. And any other time, I mulled down to 5. All of my 5s were complete gas, like insane, like ridiculous hands. I was like, hell yeah, like I'm totally happy going down to 5. And it's like, yeah, turn 2 Sunscape Familiar, like turn 3, like draw spell and hold up counter spell, and then from there, like starting to do like random bullshit go, like flickering stuff and getting value. Yeah, sick. So no, I don't think so.
Well, that's great to hear. And with that, we'll get to the close to our finishing thoughts. Aaron, anything you want to tell the audience before we get going?
Mono Black Sack does work. Not gonna lie, and even the guy Mitch, which I played against, he's like, my buddy didn't show up and he likes this deck. He even took a picture of my game state before we got up. He's like, I'm gonna show my friend that he should have come with his Mono Black Sack deck, and I'm like, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like to that note, I think like the one thing that I got was that. Dude, it was just like good vibes all around. It was such a good tournament. It was so well run. Dude, it was in a really, really sick, like beautiful brewery. It was all like cement floors and stuff, like real industrial looking, but like lots of space, lots of huge windows, lots of light. It was a little warm in there. That's my only complaint.
Yeah.
But like other than that,
I mean, it's summer, so
yeah.
No, they need an air conditioner, like straight up. And they had to close the blinds because of the layers of the light.
Yeah, it was just and the sun was coming in.
The brewery was nice. The food was good. They gave us a free beer. Like
they gave it. Yep.
Oh, nice.
We got a drink ticket with our entry.
This is what they gave me for top 8ing.
Yeah, you got a medal.
Yeah, and it's got the Pauper, New York State. And if you'd have got first, they had this humongous trophy that you got your name and deck list put on it. I don't think you got the trophy, but every time they're gonna host it, each person gets their own little name slot.
Oh, so they're gonna Stanley Cup it. Cool.
It's like a Stanley Cup. Yep.
Yeah. So that I was like, I want that so bad, and I was like, this close. Even Gator's like, you're gonna win. You're gonna win. Tell me you're gonna win. I'm like, yes, Dad, I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always prefer traveling trophies like that rather than like something that you take home because like I don't know if I'm gonna put it in my bag.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even know how I'm gonna be able to take that on the plane. My bag is big enough, but
it's cool that they did medals.
The medal was cool. Love the medal. Like they obviously this is probably like El Cheapo, but the medal itself is like really nice. It's like I can't even bend that. And then they got the date and the top 8 2025.
Nice.
It's
awesome.
And I also bought a mat for like $40 with the artist that was there. I got Rohan and the crew to sign it, for that year.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. I got the mat if you want to see it.
Yeah, bring it out. I'll probably end up doing the same thing when I go to Atlanta. I think that's like what everyone does at Magic Cons too.
So this was the mat. Oh. If you're dyslexic, you can read it.
Oh, it looks nice.
So that's the mat.
It's got a Spellster sprite on that one side. Yeah.
And then there's where the black is where all the comments that they left about the deck and winning.
They're all mono black sack puns.
Yeah. Skill issue. Do better.
Yeah. That's
play pattern issue.
One of my favorites is Eric's. He said, "Carry my wayward son."
Yeah, my wayward son.
Yeah, some dad jokes.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a shadow box or some kind of like thing. I'm gonna put that mat and the metal in it together and then hang it on the wall. That'd be cool. Because I'm not gonna play on that mat. But it was definitely fun. I had fun, obviously, with my friends.
It was a great weekend. It was a blast hanging out with the boys.
Nobody got shit faced.
No, we're all very responsible. We're all very responsible individuals.
And Gator calls me. He's like, "You're in top 8. You're like, there's no way you can't get in top 8." And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Have you been drinking?" I'm like, "A little." He's like, "Let's drink some water." So I didn't have a drink of alcohol until the final round.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So when I was told that you're in top 8, I wanted to make the announcement on our server, and Gator was like, "No, don't do it. You'll jinx them." I'm like,
I did see it.
like, "You believe in this?" But all right, sure.
And you used mine and Rohan's picture with what's
with Marco
in there. Yeah.
That was our boy Marco. He was on Ultratron. It was his first Magic tournament actually, and it was just not his day.
I showed Trump, and he was like, "Thanks for the invite." He was right next to us too.
He was talking to a bunch of people about his foil binder of foils, trying to sell. Foil. He was wheeling and dealing, or at a table next to us.
I mean, that's like its own win, right? When you're just like making money out of your binder.
Yeah. He did
it's not like he's like one of the dudes with like the card hotels in his backpack.
Yeah, he made $40 in a couple good trades. So
yeah, he did.
If you guys are ever able to travel out for tournaments, please do so. There's a pretty cool tournament out in the Midwest. I have to look up the information for it. It's called Cloudy Commons. It's for a guy's cradle, so go check that out. It's actually Tony Baloney's local shop, so again, you get to meet him
in Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Also, they're going to announce the next tournament that we just went to for Rochester. I don't know, but they did say November, but I don't know what.
Yeah, sometime in early November, the first or second week.
Okay, yeah, because speaking of stuff on the East Coast, Riches to Rags, the next one I believe is in February.
Yeah, it got announced.
So hopefully Gator and I can actually go out there too. And for everyone in the DC area, at the end of the month, there's also another monthlies down there at the Labyrinth. I'll put the information down in the description for you guys. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of PDH tournaments going on too, and Pauper still has like a really big in-person scene, which is always great. And for everyone in Europe, you guys just go take a train down to Italy, and you guys are fine.
Paupergeddon. Go to Pauper. That would be fun to go to Paupergeddon. That's like over hundreds of people.
I believe Eric is going next year. Chum's going next
Money
year.
bags.
Yeah, like if I can make it to MagicCon, Amsterdam, I'm not bringing any Commander deck. I'm just bringing all Pauper decks. I'm like, all right, I'm here for this format, and that's it.
When is Atlanta? Is it October or November?
Atlanta is the final weekend of September, so September 26th through the 28th.
Maybe I can go to that since it's the last MagicCon of the year, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I can go to that because I'm only 4 hours away from Atlanta, so I might be able to.
Yeah, you might as well. Like I'm pretty much legally obligated to go at this point because if not, like all of my friends at Tipstream will whip my ass.
It's just that the tickets just to get in are so expensive. They're like
they are, but you can just hang out in the lobby. That's what everyone does anyway.
Yeah, but who wants to do that? I'll just go.
A bunch of people do LobbyCon. Just drive 4 hours, hang out with people in LobbyCon. And there goes Rohan's internet. So it's like figure out a way to
he's like, bye. Okay, we're not talking about this no more. Bye.
Yeah. All right, Izlain. So you figure out how you'll edit this one in. With that, have a great week, everyone.
There he's back.
He's back. All right, cool. Hi, Twitter. All right, and with that, everyone, thank you so much. And remember, if you're able to travel, do so. Be responsible with your money. Hang out with friends, because that's honestly what Magic is about. During the pre-show, everyone was saying like it's all about the gathering, unironically. So, take care, everyone. Have a great week. Thank you for watching. And if you want to support the channel, please subscribe and join the Discord in our link below. And become a member over on our Patreon.
Shout out to all of our patrons: Eric, Cobraman, Aaron, Dax, Devin, NYC Burrito, Little Rat Lotad, Frank, Scoob, HZ, and Too Much Do. Thank you for all of your support.